Hi, we are Switchfoot, and you can hear it all at hearitfirst.com.
Yeah, you know, the habitat story of working with a community of people to affect change where it is greatly needed, whether it's recovering from a hurricane or from a tragedy of sorts. That Habitat for Humanity story has kind of been a big part of the Switchfoot story for the last 3 years. I'm doing a lot of work with them on tour, and then John and I, growing up on the East Coast, I think we're especially sensitive to kind of the raw power and destruction that can come from a hurricane. It's definitely with kind of fear and trembling that we use the term, and yet it became the perfect metaphor to kind of encompass what we wanted to do as a band. That, you know, here we were, an independent band trying to do something musically that we had never done before, deconstructing who we were, and yet running towards the storm, you know, not running away from it. Kind of all of this turmoil facing our nation and us as individuals, and deciding that you know, all of these things that they can't silence our love. You know, that became kind of the running theme for this record, to be jumping into the stormy seas and not running away from it.
And I think the story you brought up that I think embodies this type of attitude is the one where we were down in Baton Rouge building a house for this lady with Habitat, and she had not only lost her house in Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, she lost pretty much everything. She was relocating her entire life in Baton Rouge, but she also lost the use of her legs in Hurricane Katrina, and so she's now an amputee, and she's learning how to walk again with these prosthetic legs. And the quote that kind of captures the spark and the life of the record for me, that comes from her, she said, "I walked out of my house in New Orleans on my own 2 feet. I'm going to walk into this new one on my own 2 feet." And that kind of strength under pressure is something that for me is mind-blowing, and, you know, kind of worth dedicating a record to. I feel like the tag line directly after "Hello Hurricane" in the chorus is kind of sums up a lot of what the songs are talking about. Hello hurricane, you're not enough. Hello hurricane, you can't silence my love. The idea that in this life we will face storms and things will tear us apart. Things will even potentially take our lives from us. And, you know, we all know that death is coming eventually. That's not a possibility, it's an eventuality. So in light of that, how do we live? How do we love each other? You know, what are the things that you can't take from me? Those are the things I'm going to dedicate my life to.